Literally floating with destiny.
Yeah.
Well, we're here to make some cool stuff happen. So it's interesting. Amy, are you going to be available January 14th to come up to Canada for Business Mastery?
Uh, Possibly, yeah, because I was thinking about going to New York and doing it at the Temple of Light. And then I saw your post and I was like, oh, two options. I love this.
So two temples of light getting
Yeah, because
Yes.
online.
might be with well, not you might, you will be you'll meet Brenda and a bunch of people that are in the development space, in the real estate space, but also we want to continue building these events. What's up, Ronald?
Hey,
Yeah.
Ronald. Lighthouse animals, lighthouse beings.
Yes.
I I have the most wonderful news. My best friend just had his second of his fourth child, and so I worked through all night. So I am. If you look at the black holes here, this is why. We
Congratulations.
his first two children were stillborn, so he was very unlucky.
Ugh.
And but now he has two beautiful sons
Aw.
in the autumn of his life, or just the same age as I have. So I
That's a power.
started early with children. He does it the other way around. First career, now children.
Mm,
So I'm blessed.
absolutely.
Yes, you are.
I agree.
So
Beautiful that your brother. Yeah, beautiful that your brother did not give up after getting too still. Um, yeah, it's a powerhouse right there.
exactly, he is a powerhouse. There will be a time you will meet him. He's he's uh, he's a business powerhouse.
Ah, beautiful.
But now I'm supporting him just not to be that, just to be a
Yeah,
dad.
Yeah.
And
beautiful.
and and he has the time and the finance to do that. So I said, don't worry about work, just go be
You
a
know
dad.
what? It's interesting. It's like most of these business powerhouses are have the capacity to be such incredible powerhouse men and fathers. Uh, they just need to let go. Let go of the illusion of control.
Yeah, but that's the problem. He's just as blue as I was.
Mm.
So, are you
That was
back home, Sagitas, or on your way?
Copenhagen, Copenhagen now.
Okay, almost there.
I had a good sleep now from Amsterdam here all the way. Probably before we took off and when we were landing, I woke up.
Okay, great.
Beautiful. Mm. Feel very fresh, inspired.
he traveled with the Destiny plane.
Wow. Did
Yeah,
you
the
found a
the
rocket?
pilot, yep, the pilot when we were landing to Amsterdam, the last word he said, "Hope you enjoyed your flight with Destiny." I was like, "Of course."
It's
You know, it's one
awesome.
of those moments where universe speaks so direct that it's almost trippy. It's like, whoa, okay, okay.
Wow.
Amy, I'm
Mm.
curious, how was it your how is that guy with the or man whatever with the investment? Did it pull the trigger? Did it went through?
So I'm working with the bank to build the document that so I've never done this before. So he said send me something so I can send you the donation. So they gave me an attorney to write the document and I wrote to both the two of them. What does he need to put on it? What and nothing. Crickets. from the attorney. So I created the document myself. I sent it to the bank so they could add the wiring information. And I'm gonna call her today. I've been
Hmm.
in meetings all morning and just say, what's the wiring information so I can give it to him. And I just don't know, like I have his name on it, right? I suppose I should put his phone number and all that stuff on it, like where he is or
Mhm.
whatever. He's a he's a co-owner of Petrocina, which started a whole different process because my friend buys oil and gas or whatever it is, jet oil. And so I've connected them, so there may be a monthly income coming as well for me. So I don't, but he has to be real first, right? So one of these
Yeah.
things happening, and that's why I put the post because, and then I found two people in this community that also do it that I know are real. So now I'm starting that process with my friend as well. So it's a game.
Beautiful. It is.
It's a game, and I'm hanging by a thread, that's for sure. But it's okay. The
That's
thread's
so
getting
cool.
thicker.
That's so cool. Yep. Numbers loves you.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
We, we
Grateful
also
that it's moving.
Right.
we also hooked up Brenda, so we'll see what happens there too, because Brenda might be curious. I reached out to her again personally just to see. So she's got a big open house in Sundre, close to Calgary, a little bit tomorrow. So I think if you come to Edmonton and meet all these powerhouse real estate players for business mastery, Amy, it might be a good integration way of aligning values and principles towards a aligned goal and strategy in terms of what we want to all bring to the table as a team. So I think that's the biggest
Mm.
kind of and we've discovered that we want to do these regularly because we're also planning Brazil, and we're all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, Africa is showing up, and India and all these other experiences. So uh we're obviously going to need to be doing these in places as well. So that's going to be a byproduct of new places.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, it would be cool to do it in Boston as well. So you know what I mean? Like,
In Boston and in Maine.
and in Maine. Yeah.
And in Maine. My house in Boston is a postage stamp and Maine is 60 acres. There's no accidents. Yeah, it's really cool. Actually, I had a real estate agent call me. This is really crazy because I told you what happened. I saw this movie called The Burial, and it was Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones. And he says, whenever you see somebody doing something wrong, you have a duty to do something about it. Well, last week I talked to a real estate person who was working with 300,000 people. I didn't think it was that big in Massachusetts that are in foreclosure they were promised things by banks that they never had any intention of doing, and another 300,000 in Connecticut. Like it's a massive problem that is like swept under a rug. Like I need to get bigger and louder. So I wrote to the attorney again because he's seriously thinking about taking my case. And the smallest connection, right? So my husband, my grandchildren called him Gucka. And I'm on the phone with him, and my grandson Jack says, Can you keep asking me to do something? I said, Jack, I'm on my phone. I'm on the phone for a second. Go ask Gucka. And he says, Did you just say Gucka? And I said, Yeah, why? And he said, That's what my brother and I called my grandfather. So
Wow.
the smallest things, right? Then endear somebody to
Mm.
you. So I think he'll take the case. And I told him I don't want the money. I want the justice for the people. My stuff will
Mm.
get paid off. I don't want the extras. He can have it. It's not that important to me. The fact that 300,000 people are losing their homes, that's not right. I may send another complaint to Elizabeth Warren. This was supposed to be her big deal. I've sent certified return receipt letters to people.
I have a
That's
question
cool.
Yeah.
with regards to like homes and how and like centers, or how that can help people. How could a foundation like Parents Are the Key support these people that are maybe in foreclosure or things like this? Like what is the what can be the alignment there with Parents Are the Key to then create more awareness and education around homes and development and things like this and real estate? Or is
Maybe I
that
should,
even what I'm hearing? Because it sounds like you're onto something here.
I know. I'd like to talk more about that because that is, and maybe I should uh call the real estate agent again because I did talk to her about what I was doing, and that through this whole process I stayed in my purpose and I got my 501(c)(3, I got the documentation. It's all ready in there. And I've been waiting for this to fix because it felt like it was supposed to fix first before I could do anything, just to make sure that I had everything that I could do it in. And then at UPW, I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing this all wrong. Do the solution, not the problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point.
Something to think
I
about.
would- Yeah. Yeah.
What do you see, Eric? What are you hallucinating about right there? If there's
Well, I'm not seeing a hallucination. I'm seeing a fact of
good.
uh I'm seeing that, if parents are educated properly about the homing situation, that as a result, the journey of educating their children in terms of finance and wealth will be a very
Mm.
uh conscious way of helping them identify what it means to actually live in a space of wealth and abundance. So if we educate the parents around what it means about the homing situation, about community, about how they can understand themselves, then, this comes back down to kind of our core mission impact of fundamentally understanding vitality and reviving, the consciousness of people. So like we talked about the conscious revival and discovering the art of vitality, and vitality is the voltage of our necessary inner being. And so if parents are educated upon this understanding within who they are, then they can find more solutions in the community and see that there are things that are happening out there that are inappropriate for their next generations to
Mm.
take on, whether that's wealth, whether that's health, whether that's relationships. But in this case, what I'm hearing, it's something to do with the way that the banking system and the real estate system are operating. Uh, that's not benefiting the people. Again, I don't know the details because you're the one that's on this the forefront, but I'm just hearing based off of the numbers that you're sharing that this might be some sort of issue, especially in the United States, and I'm certain somewhere else as well.
Yeah, so what I've learned is so the my original lender went bankrupt. So somebody bought my loan at a discount already. And so somebody tends to benefit hugely from my loan, right? And what's interesting in hearing what you're saying about parents and community. So I grew up, from a family of six, right? My mother raised us on welfare in an affluent community. And when I think about, I wish somebody helped her.
Right.
She seemed like a strong, she was she was an activist. She was like demonstrating down the streets, helping with women's rights, welfare rights, and all that stuff. But that left her busy, right? And the emotional connection to us wasn't huge because she didn't have one for herself, right?
Right.
And so
And by the way,
that's what I'd like to help.
most parents out there or most family thinks that they only have to look out their immediate family. This was something that actually we broke through even at the discussion altogether at Date with Destiny, where we said, hold on, the family isn't just the blood family. The family is actually the chosen family that's here right now, and
Mhm.
we can cultivate a family fund that takes care of one another and looks after each other's interests by moving towards true vitality, true moving towards taking care of each other. And as a result, we can benefit a bigger whole. And
Mhm.
so this thing is that most parents think that they have to do it all by themselves when the actual support comes from taking care of one another. And it's like Ronald was talking about this powerhouse businessman, right? So he's a powerhouse businessman. He's focusing on business, but he forgets to be a parent. He forgets to be a father. And
Yeah.
actually, his nature is already super powerful. He just forgets that because of the blue consciousness, because of the rules that he's put imprinted in his head, that his values they it's like he changes the illusion of like there's a separation between how he does business and how he shows up in the family, where it's actually the
Mhm.
exact same thing. It's just in his head that he puts on a different mask.
Mhm.
So if parents
Yes.
recognize this, that they could actually start to recognize that everywhere they go, they are parents of society or students of society or teachers of society, that they can actually lean on each other. And if parents are the key, start to recognize that whether I'm talking to my children, my future children, or my brothers here in the room, or Ronald's children, or Amy, your children, that I actually still have a responsibility, a moral responsibility to show up at the most outstanding standards. So whether it's business,
Mhm.
whether it's life, whether it's health, whether it's family, I'm still showing up with that outstanding level of principles because that's what I've guided myself to. And as a result, it starts to integrate even more in every area of the life of the wheel of life.
Mm. It's interesting because as a public school secretary, I've watched a lot, right? And I've quietly watched a lot, just been the spectator and just taking it all in and seeing issues and whatever. And in my town, they took the DARE program out of the schools and they took this out of the out of it. And now they want to cut the funds of the police and the fire and all of that. Well, they keep us safe, so why would you do that? So I'm looking to integrate all of the systems because the thing is everybody's busy. Guidance counselors are overloaded, parents are overloaded, administrators are overloaded, and we need each other. So when someone introduces me to a way to give to kids, I think, boy, it would be great to give police and fire two reasons to take care of themselves and one be a kid in the school system because I've connected them to the guidance counselors that they can send these vitamins to families and do cool things. And I'm on a team with incredible people. Do you know Jeff Roberti? Do you know of Jeff Roberti, Tony's first platinum partner?
I think
I'm on
he's
his
the one.
team.
Yeah, I think he's done the thing like the what is it? What's the company again? I forget.
Juice Plus. Yeah, and so I'm on his team and Lauren Lahav's team, and she just put something out to make the year bigger and brighter. She's got a series of events happening, and she says, and she puts me on the team, and she says I need somebody for each one, and then someone for the newsletter. I said I'll do the newsletter. I love that stuff. I love connecting. So now, in order to do the newsletter, I'll connect to all of the other people, right, from all over the world, and that's what we. It's like I feel like we're like bees buzzing, right? Because it's
Mm.
all about womb to tomb. And my goal, so I was my father's caregiver. My goal is to help people be financially free when they have little kids, so that when their parents become kids again, they can take care of them as well,
And
from start to
that's why
finish.
that's so beautiful because that's what Ronald is amazing at.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
is Ronald's mission in life, to
Yeah.
really to really focus on the wealth and financial literacy, so that people can, and his passion comes through when he continues to share this wisdom with so much grace and joy. He's a massive leader in this thing. So I think that, there's a reason that everything comes together, and we need to stick together, because as a result we start to make more impact.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Hey,
I know. Fourth and fifth graders know what we knew in seventh and eighth grade now, and now they're bored. And so, when kids get bored, not great things happen. And so helping them get motivated to their own future and then build their community around the future that they want to have together. I was the summer school secretary, and then I would see myself show up on the other side of the desk. Ah, so where's your teacher, right? Well, you're here in summer school for 6 weeks. Where's your teacher? How come you didn't show up for yourself? This is your education to get. You can either get it or cheat yourself out of it.
So we have a meeting with the School of Dubai and India on Wednesday about how getting 120 students from 18 to 22, focused on how nature, business, and wealth is really coming from inside. And then we have, a conversation about Africa that's happening on April 6th as well. And we're also configuring Brazil on April 28th.
Beautiful.
So
My
bridging,
my son-in-law's sister, I know works in a school in South Africa. I don't know if she runs the school or what, but I'll ask him what she does.
yeah, because it's interesting how much more we need to come together. And so Ronald, do you want to share a little bit about how you see financial fit kind of jumping into that with your intellect and massive level of integrity?
Unshakable master.
Mm.
You're on
muted,
mute.
by the way.
It depends on which perspective I look at it, and which age group. So if I take the age group of 12-year-olds or 16-year-olds, it will be a different subject.
What if we focus on the guys that we currently have helping and wanting to be involved, kind of like
the
right
Shaws of this world?
Yeah, like we know we have like 18 to 23-year-olds that are actively alongside us, and we know there's going to be 110 of them in India from
What
Dubai.
what I would do is to make how much time do I have?
We're going to have 6 days with them, so 3 days they're going to be in nature, with the foundation like understanding the waterfalls, the systems of nature, the magic of nature. And then 3 days, we're going to be doing the depth of transitioning nature into what wealth looks like in terms of finance and business and development.
Well, it should be a summary of what we do at Business Mastery. So the principles of bookkeeping, like Keith does it, and then not 6 hours, but maybe 3. Yeah, basically the same as Business Mastery, and then half the time.
Do you have something that you put together that I could make a PDF out of? And the way in which I share things is a link that never changes. So every time you update it, the link would stay the same and you can update it. I can upload a PDF as you think about more things and
it
yeah.
still needs to be created because it's only in my head.
So you send
so
it to me, I'll put it on the paper.
Hmm.
No
so
problem.
so I have the overall structure of it, of the whole like 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically on day two, we go over the measurables where it goes influence, measurables, purpose, adversity, creation, and transformation. So those are the 6 overall categories that we go through. And on the second day, we have the measurables because what we measure matters. But on the first day, we focus on the influence. So by focusing on the influence of the internal self, or I really structure the five steps of awakening, going from unconscious creator to a conscious integrator, from unseen to unstoppable. We then break through and help them understand that to become unstoppable, we have to be measurable. We want to be measurable because as a result of being measurable, and so we really allow the computer and the mind, as Sagitas likes to say, we crack the computer so that as a result we help them understand through a brilliant mind like Ronald that to break the rules we need to understand them, right? So we understand the rules like a pro to break them like an artist. So we get a massive leader like Ronald to share the rules, to help them understand the rules, to help them define the rules, and then out comes the playful Ronald and teaches them to break them.
Hmm. So can I ask a clarifying question? So the first day is that would you call that self-trust?
The
Put
first day
another
is the first day is influence.
so is
Here I'm
it
sending
self-influence? So
you the
because I asked that just to get the awkwardness of each other, right? They're 18 to 22, you said? So
exactly.
the teaching them the self-trust of themselves and each other the first day, is that what you mean by that? The
Yes.
influence?
So let me just read it to you out loud because I have it written here. But again,
Awesome. Thank you.
it's introspection. So it's really
Hmm.
understanding that awareness is the key. And so fundamentally, Amy, whenever people are clear of understanding themselves, first they get clear on how to really build that trust. So
Hmm.
introspection to influence, awareness is the key to growth. This is how we've written it. So if people are understanding their own awareness or their own influence or their own dynamics, fundamentally this is the core level of leadership strategy is
Hmm.
knowing thyself so that as a result they can be really open in a safe space of trusting, of communicating, of identifying, and of adapting to the influence and the measurables around them. But first
So
they need to build relationships with each other so they go deep enough into their own intro. And so there's a shared experience of vulnerability. The group creates, we create a sense of community, allowing each individual to fully embrace the transformational process ahead, setting the intentions and clarify their personal goals. They focus on understanding the 5 stages of awakening, which is the framework to guide leaders in recognizing where they are on their own journey of self-discovery and how that awareness can positively apply to influence themselves and others. By uncovering these unconscious drivers, participants begin to take their own ownership of their transformation, setting the stage for meaningful leadership.
mm. So and when is your first event?
It's gonna be actually in India in
Hmm.
end January or beginning of February, depending on how we influence the dates, because I'm meeting with the School of Dubai this upcoming week, but we have the solid dates for Brazil already set.
What
Uh,
are the dates for Brazil?
April 28th.
From it's a one day, it's a 6 day event. That start?
April 28th to May 4th or 5th, depending if people want to stay longer.
So are you giving them any prep work, the kids, prior to?
This is a so it's again, just so that I'm clear, it's
Yep.
also not just going to be kids. This is kids and adults. This is the essence of children, not just children. Okay.
Gotcha. Yep.
The reason that I want to help that come together is so that the youthfulness of 18 to 25-year-olds is coming out from people that are also in their 50s, 60s, and 70s that have built huge level of paradigm in terms of business ownership, leadership, so that they can also uh, be youthful and allow themselves to play and then help the next generation build on top of what they've already built. So what it is, it's bringing the abundance to each other and helping each other move forward. Because at the end of this event, not only are people going to be able to locally build something where we are, like, for example, in Brazil or India or Africa or wherever we are, this will be a duplicated model where wherever we go, there'll be a local impact and people will think globally. So that will then also start to accumulate more transitions. So think of us going to UPW, and that whole community at UPW starts to focus on a meaningful impact locally.
Mm-hmm.
That place, wherever it is, whether it's Cologne or whether it's Hawaii or whether it's Africa or South Africa, now there's a project that's developed on a local standard, but then it's thought of globally. So now not only are we taking the emphasis of business mastery, applying it to 10,000 people or 1,000 people or 500 people or 30 people, but now they're applying it into the local community to create a level of impact on the ground. And then it's thought about, it's act locally, think globally,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
wherever we are after the event.
Sweet. Can I share my Rotary experience with you? Just so this, um, and I say this because when we go places and go, okay, I'm going to tell you my Rotary experience. What I learned from the Rotary is they used to do all these good things, right? Volunteering and whatever, and they'd go over to a country and they'd say, "Oh my God, you need an X-ray machine here to help your people do this, that, and this," right? Because they're all business professionals that want to do good things, and they go over and see what they think somebody needs, right? And then what happens is they send the machine over, and these people look at it and they look at each other and like, yeah, we have no idea what to do with this machine. So they've changed the whole context of how they do it now. Now, before sending the machine, they would go over and train people or ask, what is it that you think that you need that we can support you with? So that now they're not wasting money on big machines that become like exercise machines and people are hanging things on it, right? So if they say they need an X-ray machine, they then go and train them on the machine and then ship the machine to people that already know. So having the conversations and knowing what people need before even, asking all the right questions so that they're endeared to the next step.
That happens while we're there. So, like, for
Awesome.
example, in Brazil or in Dubai or in Ibiza
Yep.
or wherever I've been in the past, or Ecuador or Tulum or all these places that we've had events in the past, there's relationships that are built on the ground. And so before we even
Awesome.
get there, we're already planning with the groups to go out and look at what they're doing locally,
Yep.
so that it's like we're not sitting in a conference room,
Yep.
actually going out to nature. We're going out to play with the local community. We're getting to know people. We're having conversations. We're bringing people in. We're going to check out what they're doing locally. Like in Vila de Pau, in close to where I was living, they have a reforestation where they're reforesting half of Brazil based off of that one space, and they're moving the trees. Like, these types of things are happening all over Brazil, but people are unaware of the magic that's being created there in the way that they think. The way that they think is so much in benefit of Mother Nature and they need help because the land and the water and the abundance that's available in Brazil is phenomenal, and the way that people think is phenomenal. But what most people think, because they don't go to Brazil or don't get curious about the local community, is the magic, or they think that there's a lack there, which is bullshit.
Mhm.
It's and by the way, this happens in most cultures, most tribes, most unawarenesses is like they don't have the awareness of the spiritual teachings of what these elders are bringing to the table and how they're influencing the communities. And what's important is to actually pay attention to these elders, to listen to them, to see what they're doing. And as a result, people get this holy whoa approach. And they're like, if these people are doing it with so much, a little bit of resources, but being so much more resourceful, and
Mhm.
we have so much more resources on the West and are capable of actually implementing way more, they can be doing even more impact. And so this is the thing that people are completely not paying attention to because they don't know what they don't know. So
Mhm.
it's about bringing the abundance mindset that's being delivered inside of these elder philosophies, along with the abundance kind of momentum, money, and kind of perspective of the new technology, let's call it, and this ancient technology within us together to recognize that abundance is actually we need each other to create absolute level of infinite abundance and
Mhm.
benevolence. Because that's what really creates literacy. That's what really creates a meaningful impact and meaningful virtue moving forward. Um, Geethas, do you want to add anything to Brazil or anything that you've seen, experienced? I know you're not on the camera, but
I totally agree with both of you because you're both pointing the same thing. Because first, research what's needed. Instead of throwing things around and recognizing that abundance already exists. So yeah, maybe like we don't like. This is where I feel like Amy says like we don't need to overthink what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do, but just once it's gonna happen, and then we serve with what's needed. Totally.
so Ronald, do you want to meet with me later regarding Brazil, or do you want to talk about it now?
Um, let's do it later because I need to take care of my family and I need to take care of my rest.
Yeah.
So probably today is not a good one.
Tomorrow?
I was looking at the dates to give you some guidance. The first week of May is challenging, but maybe doable. And I'm now trying to clear up my schedule for January.
Mhm.
My intention is to send my daughter too.
Mhm.
Maybe send her ahead
Mhm.
because I have a important meeting the day before, and the direct flights are only on Tuesday and Thursday, and it starts on Wednesday. So, and yeah, that's what I'm was looking at the moment. So we need to schedule.
Okay. Do you want to do schedule tomorrow, 10:30, like after the Lighthouse or before?
Um, tomorrow is. I don't know how the afternoon. It is for me. It's late in the afternoon. I don't know how my time will go. And this time is for me the wrong time. It's the time to eat.
That's right. So do you want to meet 2 hours earlier?
12 o'clock there. I'm thinking.
I'm just sending you an invite, and then if it doesn't work, we can move it.
Just set it on 1 hour before tomorrow's meeting. 1 hour later, as you did right now.
Okay, I might have a meeting with Michelle at that time, so I have to
Oh.
just let me work on that, and I'll figure it out for us. Okay.
Can I show you something quick? Can I just share my screen for 1 second before we go?
Yeah.
Because I think this is the same picture. And I just realized it now. Okay, so this is interesting actually. Because one thing they talk about in this meeting that I was in is that those fingers are almost touching. Is that your picture?
Yep.
And the two fingers of the reaching out for help and the help coming in are like they're almost touching. Like that's, and I think that's the listening, right? The almost touching.
The creation, yeah.
So that's in the back of the 12 steps in a
Mm.
booklet that they use for the 12 steps. I just felt like it was a message that we were supposed to see.
Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's behind you. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute, that is the picture. Yeah, awesome. I have the daughter my mother wished on me, so I wanted to make sure I'm listening because I reach
What
out
was
to
that?
her, right?
What was that book, Amy?
So I can send it to you. So it's the 12 steps. So I'm a recovered addict that never did any work in terms of AA or NA or any of that stuff. And somehow I've been divinely guided to the 12 step. And I just realized that Eric's picture is the back of the 12 step. It's a workbook. That's what a sponsor would go through the steps with you. And it's at the back of the book. It's one of the stories in it. So I'm like, whoa. Yeah. And I've been following Mel Robbins for a while. Do you know who she is? She talks about she made a book, wrote a book, and it's called 54321. Because she talks about, we get these ideas like, and then we want to go, right? And then all of a sudden, if we don't act on 54321, and we go, I didn't want to do that anyway. So she used to talk about how it wasn't about, you're never going to feel like it. You're never going to feel like it. And I'd be like, no, 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 you are going to feel like it. It is in the feelings. Feelings are what you're left with when all else is said and done, how we feel about things. So now she's written another book and she actually got to meet with Oprah about her book. And the funny thing is I met her in Dallas and she said something on her line feed and how she felt about meeting Oprah. And I wrote her a message because she quoted me in one of her newsletters. I did a video a few years ago and I quoted her about that 54321 and how our minds are lazy. And so I wrote to her and I said, that's how I felt about you when I met you. How she felt about Oprah is how I felt about her. And she's from Boston. Actually, the interesting thing is one of our Platt sisters sold her home. So I think I'm going to reach out to Nora and see if I can get a hold of her in terms of my healing spaces, because it would be kind of cool.
I love it.
Yeah, right? 54321.
Just jump in.
Yeah. And I think the name of her new book is Let Them Be or something. Like I think I don't know what it's about. I'm gonna look into it. But Oprah invited her to meet with her at her house so that they could have a podcast together. Yeah.
Oh, Gabe's coming on.
Gabe's there. Want me to admit him?
Already did.
Okay. I love that. Avon calling.
Hey Gabe, how are you, brother?
Hey, did I call you guys by accident?
Well,
No,
There's no
there's
I
no
mean,
accident.
there's no accident in the universe, Gabe.
oh yes. Hello.
Hey, how are you, my friend?
Hey,
I'm doing good. I just finished the staff meeting and it was going so well that I could not, it was an hour too long. So I was trying to finish at 11, but we just finished now.
You rock, brother.
How are you guys doing? How are you guys?
good to see
Did I
you,
interrupt
brother.
anything?
We're
Good to
amazing,
see you,
man.
Eric.
You came in at the perfect time. Tell us
Yeah.
how things are. Maybe do you want to share a little bit about yourself so those that don't know you yet can get acquainted with your magic and your wisdom?
Yeah. Let me okay, wait. Because I'm on my phone, but I want to go to my computer. I'll leave it. Yeah.
No S at all. No S at
So
all. Please. Just a
how many
joke,
people
Gabe.
in
Just a
the
joke.
how many people are in the room?
There's 5 of us.
Including you.
Okay, great. Cool. Yeah, my first Lighthouse community meeting, I guess it is, eh?
Yeah, welcome.
Let's party. Gabe is on the line. How do you do that,
So
Singitas?
Magic.
Let me take
Yeah.
the honors. Let me take the honors. Is that okay? I
okay,
know,
go ahead.
Gabe. We have a few calls when you're down with the situation with your mother, and you were punching yourself down because you know you could do better with your staff, and you were in the wrong place after being in business mastery and in uh, did you went to that was before UPW. But when I see you now, I see a totally different person. So tell me what's going good. What did you achieve? You look, you're smiling. You have a great energy surrounding you. So you changed something. You
Well,
had multiple
that's my
breakthroughs.
usual self, right? I'm back on
Okay.
track. That's my usual self. But I do have way too many things on the go because I'm very much entrepreneurial. And I thank you. I gotta say thank you for all the help that you gave me. You, I, you were there, and I shed some tears talking to you. I was frustrated. I swore a lot. I was coming from the life I was at, everything was crumbling down. I was stacking my problems, and to be quite honest, I was hard on myself, but I was actually in a really hard position because I was dealing with my mother that was in a, if people don't know, she lost her life. Her house caught on fire and she was not able to get out quick enough. Her husband did go back in and get her out, but she was on life support for 45 days, and I was lost completely. I met Eric through our platinum stuff, and I met Ronald at Business Mastery. So they saved me in the little that I've done with them, and I'm still questioning a lot of my capabilities right now because I'm just scaling so big. I'm lost on some stuff. I feel good. I'm implementing certain things. I have a lot of my projects still doing well and closing. I was just going through a tough time, and I was not ever able to lean on anybody, including my father, including my wife, including, you know, myself. I don't even know at that point. I was just lost. And I have a vision, and he helped me. Ronald helped me just get back on track there. I like saying, when you lift the barbell, when you're trying to lift the barbell, or you're trying to bench press, and you can't lift, 4 plates, but someone comes alongside you and just gives you a little bit of a hand to be able to lift and make that bench press. That's what he did. So I'm in a better state. I still have a lot of problems. My mother ended up passing away. Actually, I was driving away from New York City, and I got the call 8:30 that morning. And this is right after UPW in New Jersey. I was in New York the next day, and I was driving, and I lost my mother. But I learned to be ready for that. I prayed, and I did what I could, but I also let her go. I was ready to let her go because it was 45 days. And you were there. You were there for me. Yeah. About myself, I'm just an entrepreneur. I have multiple businesses. I'm at 7 businesses, scaling to 9, and I have bad time tracking. I have great energy. I have really good employees, and I'm only 28 years old. I kind of went off on a little rant there. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's who I am.
Beautiful, brother. We really appreciate your vulnerability and authenticity, man. And my genuine condolences. I can imagine, how strong you are right now being able to share all of that, especially the loss of your mother. Although, she's never really lost, she's always here with us.
Yeah.
So really grateful for your presence and ability to just share with such a level of integrity. Gabe, I really, as I listen and as I hear, the things that are coming through you and the way that you choose to operate from a place of great energy, like, since the moment I met you, I'm curious, maybe coming down to Edmonton in January and being here together during Business Mastery might be something that allows us to come together for I don't know, maybe you want to redo Business Mastery online with a good group of people around you. Ronald's gonna.
I'm in.
Yes.
Sweet.
I'm in.
Mother, you're such a great guy. Now I need to be in too.
Mm.
Yes, let's go, Ronald. Let's go.
Gabe, I lost my father. He was my best friend. And I ask him for signs and he gives them to me.
You know what? Listen to this. I'm a father. My son's 1 year old. He just turned 1 on October 13, and I have a beautiful wife. Like, I never wanted kids. Okay, I'll get a little bit into depth just quickly. I started in a sea can 10 years ago with a toolbox. I met my wife. I was on drugs. I was a cocaine addict. I never went past cocaine, but I was on drugs and I was moving drugs, and I came from that life because my father was like that, and but there was alcohol abuse, and I was in the ghetto. I was beat, tortured, resented, rejected, all of those things, and I forgive now. I'm learning to do that with Tony Robbins, right, and all of our people, and that's where I'm broken from. And then I met my wife, and she was there when I was that person. And I must say, I don't give her enough appreciation when I talk about who I am. I am a husband to the most. She's an angel. She's a gift from God, and I'm a father to a son who is exactly like me in many ways. He has every single feature I have on my body is on his body, and it's amazing to see that I could build and help a human and change that cycle for me where we are as native Inuit and we have identity crisis. And you were saying your father passed away, and so my mother just passed, and we just found out where my kid's about to be born. And as my relationship with my mother was decreasing and it was plummeting, we found out we were having a girl, and my mom's health wasn't doing so well already. And then the fire happened, and my kid is due date is actually today. My baby's due date is today, and I live very, very, very close to my house, and my wife doesn't feel like anything's that she's not in labor, but I know that that girl that I'm having, it's a baby girl, by the way, is going to
Mhm.
be, that's a sign for me. So right away when you said that, so I'm about to have a daughter, and I think immediately it's going to replace, maybe not replace, I don't know how to talk about it, but my mother is going to be there um through that. And I feel like I lost a woman in my life, but I'm gaining a beautiful soul with my new baby coming. Um, and I'm just trying to time track. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to be the leader. I'm trying to be all the hats and everything. And Ronald knows that I hold a lot of hats and I have a lot of stress, and and I
Gabe,
really
you
appreciate
don't
having
Can
even
you
I,
guys
try.
around.
You are the
yeah,
leader, my friend. You
can,
there
Yeah,
is no try, only do, you know.
yeah,
can
yeah,
I
yeah,
tell you what I heard you say?
yeah.
So what I heard you say is you have an incredible foundation, like a solid foundation. And how you shared about your wife, you have an incredible foundation to show your children what love really is. And
Yes.
you have you have the tools and all of the history to be the man that you want your daughter to marry. And that's all your mother would want for you, right? Everything you went through gave you the foundation to be the person you are.
It's so true. And some days I used to say, why me? Why me? Or I used to be the guy that's, I can't catch a break, or
Right.
and it's
I
like they
get it.
chose me. I'm made for this, I'm
Mhm.
made for the heat, I want to go into this, and I'm realizing that, and I finally I take ownership of it. I still have a lot of things to work on. Like I said, I'm pretty young, like time tracking and learning how to say no and say no to certain projects and all that stuff, but business wise, personally, I've never felt so ready to change my life personally. UPW and business mastery just give me that confidence, and you know Ronald and Eric owe nothing to me, and they just, I used to think, oh, I need to pay for all this help. Oh, I need to, yeah, I'm paying Tony Robbins and stuff like that, and at some point, we'll all benefit from each other, but the proximity it brings you in to not even worry about having to, at some point, there's financial stress in business, and there's personal financial stress, and a lot of people get lost in that where they can't get help. And I'm realizing that I don't need to get any finance. I don't have to pay for help. When you just reach out, you got to look for it. And oh, I was so lost, and I don't know where I'm going. I just feel I love you guys.
All I need is within me now.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes.
And one
Yes.
thing, Gabe, like it's such a beauty. Like I love you, man. I was just tearing up now, and it's so beautiful to hear all the story and where it's coming from. One thing that I would like to highlight and somehow to challenge to change the story, because you few times repeated that you have a difficulty to time track or whatever you were talking there about time, and that's what Ronald says is acetal, or something there, but it's because you said you have 7 businesses and you're scaling to 9. It means you're a master of time tracking. You're the master. You
Mm.
are the master of that. You cannot not be.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, yeah. But
T-
I think what
Oh,
I'm trying to
Acetal,
say is,
acetal,
wait,
acetal, acetal.
stop.
as it does.
Oh, one moment. Where is the no acetol? I got it. I got it. Here is it. You need no S at all when you use the word but, asshole.
Mm.
Yeah,
Excuse my language.
okay,
But
And
there's
okay.
no,
there
but
is a
but
So,
master.
be no but.
No but.
Shortcut is no
and.
but.
I have to learn that. That's gonna take a while for me. That's
No. It's
Well,
already
but
happened.
I know it's in there, but okay. Oh, see, look at me.
Here you go. That's it. You just caught yourself. That's it.
That's
Done.
it.
You
And
know,
we have.
what I was trying to say was the but was what I was trying to say is okay, business wise. So this morning I had a whole meeting on based off of internal communication with the business because I'm scaling to multiple locations and I got rid of employees. Like the other day, I had to hang one by the neck and say, look, you're bullying us, you're doing this to us, you're gone. And I had to show everyone that I was not going to be walked all over anymore because I was the guy that was always being your mother and giving, and it was affecting the actual company because I was letting them, they were seeing that one was getting more than the other. So what I mean by and I do that to myself. So what I mean by time tracking is I had a whole meeting today on communication and how everyone could deal with their time. I was good at telling them what to do with their time and how I'm delegating to them to do their stuff. My time tracking issues are my personal time tracking. So when I get home, I feel like I'm not actually there. My wife, my wife and my kid, like, and I think I told this to Ronald, I said, I don't know where I am at anymore. It's like I'm business. And you burn out. You burn out at that point. And I was burning out when I was talking to Ronald. And I was like, okay, hey, how do I time track where I could leave and not be at work when I'm at home in my head? I could be eating dinner with my family and she could be talking to me and I could be thinking about where our shipments are with our snowmobiles, where an order went, how far our build is on a real estate building, or is our fuel project. I just and then I say, what? Like, did you just say something? So I want to be able to time track personally, and that's the first thing I need to do.
Because for me, it doesn't even sound like it's a time track. It seems like you have somehow like interesting definition of time tracking than you say, because it's about or like meaning, not definition. But
no, okay. So I'll be more clear. My time tracking decisions are poor. Yes, because of my time, my business time tracking. So I'm not able to execute enough during the day or execute my schedule where it leaves me not present. You're right, not present when I'm at home because my time tracking during the day, I'm not following it.
You operating, if I understand correctly, you operate a lot in your business.
Some of them, yes.
Can I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
So, brother, it sounds like based off of, the level of integrity that I'm hearing you come from, it's a space where you are devoted to your wife, your beloved, your family, and the businesses that you are serving alongside of are also, you see them as a big responsibility, which is beautiful. Now, it's in the place of peace that you are going to be able to see things clearly. It's in the place of slowing yourself down, your mind down, that's going to allow yourself to actually show up in that deep knowing of congruence. And by your ability to influence this internal behavior, this space of feeling, of healing, of trusting in yourself, you're going to be able to then see things like slow motion. Because what happens is that great leaders like yourself, because you are a great leader and you are able and capable of leading great men and women in business and in life already at 28, which is absolutely remarkable. My suggestion, what is the experience that you can give yourself to discover the intentional way of recognizing that the intelligence that's coming through the purpose that's standing in front of you, because our real purpose is in the present. And as a result, really listening to what your beloved wife is saying. Because from that place, you'll hear something so divine, so intelligent, and so wise that it will fascinate you and teach you things that you can then apply into your business. Because it's all the same game. It's the illusion of separation that actually takes us
Yeah.
away from the moment.
Yeah. I hear exactly what you're saying. I'm finding that now, and I keep losing let's say traction, because I'm in state, I'm fixing, and then I get out of I start slipping. For instance, I'll do certain things for a week to be able to ensure that I could listen. But I feel like for me, I don't know why. So I think I've been living in fear all my life,
Right.
and
So
living in fear got me.
when you say you're losing traction, you're losing traction. But if you say you're recognizing the momentum, you'll start building momentum. So it's the words that you're
It's
using.
those things I need to initiate that state all the time. I have a horrible time. I stack. I have a horrible, and when I'm out and I'm in state, it's all good. But I definitely need to learn to make that switch. And I feel like that's what Ronald was doing to me when I was talking to him. And it's what's happening right now. You know, I'm able to be present in this. I'm interested. I'm able to be present in listening to you. I can hear, I can feel it. I can feel that. And it's so real.
So you've made hard choices before, right? Just stop doing the cocaine and that kind of stuff. That was a hard decision. So I was on a meeting this morning that someone said, what did she say? She said, discipline is hard and being undisciplined is hard. Choose your hard.
Very
Going
true.
to the gym is hard, not going to the gym is hard. Choose your hard.
Yeah.
And we've had hard.
So true.
Yeah. We make things harder in our head than they need to be, right?
And
Yeah.
let me add to that.
Mhm.
Choose only not hard, but choose
Mhm.
heart
Yes.
when you're at home. When you're at home and
Mhm.
listening to your wife, and you know the rules. When you go home, you pay attention all the fucking time. Excuse my language.
Mhm.
And you give her reassurance all the fucking time and supply safety all the fucking time. That's what you do. And when you do
Can you
that,
guys help me? Sorry, I'll cut you off. Go ahead.
and when you do that, you're in the moment there.
Mhm.
And you're
Yes.
not stuck in your head. There are only 3 people stuck in this world, and they live in the Hoover Dam.
I wish
I
I knew that when I
appreciate
took my
that so
dad
much.
there.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, I wish I knew that when I took my dad there.
Okay, but
He
I
would have
couldn't hear Gabe.
appreciated
I
that.
couldn't hear what
Oh,
Gabe was
sorry.
saying.
Yeah.
So I was just saying I appreciate that. I hear you out
Mhm.
when I hear that. I answer this question for me. Why I'm so tied in and emotional, so into my power sports business. I'm passionate about it. We have a snowmobile dealership when we offer outdoor adventures, and you know, basically I sell my culture in a sense of like who we are as Inuit native people. Like we take people on the land and we sell snowmobile parts, service work, boats. We do a ton of stuff that way. My question is, why am I giving everything that I have to serve those clients and customers, but I give less at home? And I know mentally that it has to be the other way around. And I give everything I possibly have, my time, my energy, everything, my money, my resources into ensuring customer satisfaction and ensuring I can close that project. Starting a project for me is huge, and I'm so devoted. And I don't know why I go home and I can't, and I know it's important, and I know and they mean the world to me. But it's like he said, the illusion of separation. I'm wondering why I can't do that at home. Why can't I give that same? I'm and I'm learning to do it now because I'm leaving work a little late earlier. I'm delegating more, but I'm lost as to why my customers and everyone are so important to me, and I'm trying to make so many other people happy rather than myself internally. Like I gained weight, I started eating worse, or and I'm not listening to my wife. Like, we don't fight and stuff, but I'm definitely not as present as I want to be. But why do I have to be so present, like 3 in the morning at work, ensuring that I'm doing that, but I don't give the same energy back home?
I have a
So
question.
what would you answer if you would know the answer to this question?
Mm.
Oh, you guys do this to us. I don't. At Business Mastery, JJ Viller and there was another guy that I was standing with. They did that to me a couple times. You have to be able to answer your own questions. But see, I don't. Can you just say that to me again, just so I could feel it?
What would be the answer if you would know the answer to this question?
To just give them that time and energy
Here we are.
and presence.
Yeah, it's a choice, right?
Mhm.
I would like to ask you, what do you get at work that makes you feel that you're getting your needs met?
I like closing deals and closing sales. Get that smile, the end project. What do I get at work? Can you be a little bit more specific? What do you mean? Like, what do I feel, or
So
like? I
do you
mean,
know
for
what your
business,
top,
right?
you know what your top two human needs are?
Um, for me, it's security and I want to be loved. Security and love.
Mm.
Actually, where's my UPW book? I have them in there. But for me right now, like what I found out at UPW was personal. My personal is security because the life I lived. I was jumping and I was living in the foster care system. So there was never sense of security and I was living in fear. And then loved. I was not with the rejection and everything. Those are my top two needs. But so I
Beautiful.
feel like I give everyone a sense of security and I give everyone love, but I have a hard time doing it internally for some reason.
Interesting. So it's fascinating that you feel the need to create certainty around you so that you can
Yes,
generate.
yes,
So may I ask a deeper question?
yes.
What would it look like for you to be certain that you have the relationship of love with yourself?
You want to give us a sec? I'll meet you later. It's at 4. Just go sit downstairs. Go talk to the guys downstairs and lock. Can you please close my door and lock it? Yeah, I'm gonna be a while. It doesn't, but Just tell them that I'm unavailable, okay? Thank you. Yeah, do your thing. Just, oh, hello.
Universe is knocking
Sorry.
in the doors.
Don't apologize. I just
Um,
I want you to go back into that feeling, the way that you just showed up for that person right there with that level of certainty and that level of knowingness, and how you were able to find a solution of kindness and connection in that moment to get your own needs met right there and then. What did that look like? Do you
So
see how
what
the
did you
universe?
say earlier? What did you say? What did you say there? You said, what does it look like to give yourself? What did you say there again?
I said, what would it look
Originally.
like to give yourself the certainty that you're seeking so that you can have the love and connection that you're wanting within yourself to build that relationship with yourself? And then I just want you to reflect back at what just happened. As I asked that question, there was a moment of brief synchronicity where somebody came into the room and you totally stepped into a level of absolute certainty, instructed them to drive a level of behavior that was needed for your internal certainty to create an environment of absolute change without the needs of anything. So immediately the universe answered a question that we asked. By you stepping into that in that moment, right there and then, you built a level of absolute certainty in the way that you needed to show up to create an environment. So now let's go deeper into that environment of certainty that you just created for yourself.
It would look so essentially, I think in the grand scheme of things, I build all my business and do what I do so that I can have certainty and security. But when you look at it and dissect it, I'm not certain with myself, to be honest. I mean, I haven't been. I'm trying to be, but sorry, I keep saying but now. I mean, it would look and it'll be beautiful once I get there.
So you're already there. I just want to help you understand what I'm seeing, because I don't, it's beautiful to be able to have this blind spot and then to help you understand how tremendous of a leader you've already stepped into. And so that security and certainty that is coming from your mind, because it's coming from your mind right now, you are actually
Yeah.
creating certainty by knowing who the fuck you are. The question is that your mind thinks that it needs to prove something. You're already in your essence, Gabe. So
So
can
that's exactly it. I feel lost in there because I don't really, my mind doesn't feel it, but it's happening. I literally, I had that discussion with my employees, guys. I said, I give you guys all certainty in the sense of everything. I give them housing, I give them a job, and giving is living and loving, but they're so certain and they're so secure here, and I keep creating those moments, but I feel like I'm not
but you're
creating
not
those for myself. Oh,
exactly. So this is what I'm wanting to enhance your experience right now, is to help you understand that ultimately what you're doing outside of yourself for everyone else, it's now time to go inside of yourself and build that deeper relationship with your internal being. Because now that you've created and cultivated this safety and security and certainty for everyone else, it's time that you identify how much of that presence is already within you now. It's time that
it's
you
so true.
it's time that you refine the relationship, the intimate relationship with yourself, the internal environment with yourself, so that you can understand that intimacy is actually into me, I see you. And as a result, when you go home to your beloved wife, she's going to see the softness, the grace, the understanding, and the absolute level of devotion and commitment because of the softness that you found within yourself. And so wherever you go, you won't need to say anything. because you have already done it inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, we're so inundated about thinking that we need to do so many things around us, outside of us, that we forget that the deepest and most beautiful relationship that we have ultimately is the one inside of us.
I practice that. I mean, I preach that. I don't practice that. It's so strange to me, Eric. I say those things to everybody, and I don't know why I don't do them. I mean, I'm doing them. So I'll just say this. I was in an identity crisis until I went to business mastery and then especially UPW, and I actually didn't know who the fuck I was or who I was trying to be, and I'm like that a little bit, but I'm finding a sense of peace. Like, when I just was looking at videos of you on the stages and in your red shirt, um, talking, like, and then seeing Ronald and just seeing like UPW on the screen, you were on stage, and then I'm confident, but there's this, I don't know how to. It's beautiful to see that you could see who you are, and obviously you have your story. I'm in a world where we're very remote, and I'm not trying to say we're worse than everyone, but the native and Inuit culture has an identity crisis. We were in igloos 50 years ago, and it's not even a generation. We're living all this whole lifestyle, and I don't know if you know the history. They took our land, they took everything from us, and that's not even what it is. I just feel like I didn't know who I was, and I'm still trying to kind of figure that out.
My beloved brother,
There's
they
beauty
didn't.
with
The thing that they can't take from you is the indigenous wisdom that holds deep within you. And I've studied and been grateful to learn and be hailed by the native and indigenous leaders, not only here in Canada, but all over the planet, has healed my nature.
yeah,
So I used to be a crack addict, and I spent time with the Métis the tribes in Bonnyville, where the elders spent 7, 8 weeks with me, put me into different places and spaces, healing, and ultimately helped me lead me back to my heart. And they were able to take my soul and communicate with it. And not only was this done with the elders here in Bonnyville in Alberta, but also I traveled far and wide around the planet to spend time to help understand the essence of this wisdom. And this is the indigenous wisdom that comes, the ancient wisdom that nobody can take away from any of us, especially those of us like yourselves that have been blessed to be keepers of this wisdom. So whether it's the land outside of you, ultimately who you are inside, my dear brother, is what makes you so strong, which is what makes you a natural born leader. So this remoteness or this feeling of aloneness, which is all oneness, is what actually has made you the man that you are today.
Mm.
There is
yeah.
nothing outside of you that can define you.
One thing that comes from me to share with you in my hallucination is that you are so beautiful and so generous, and so it can be overwhelming for you to observe that, how beautiful the man you are, and take that fully in and embrace that beauty of yourself and fully own it.
I have a problem with doing that. Yes, I
In the
do it when I'm
past,
in state. Yeah, and I did it yesterday. So, for instance, I'll share a little something. I had the guy who walked in earlier. He works in another location in another community for one of my. So we're branching off. And, he was having a bad day, so he called me, and he's had a rough life and stuff. So I kind of tend to choose the broken ones to be able so I could change them and fix them. Anyways, he checked into the hospital. He was trying to check into a counselor. He says, I feel like hurting myself. So immediately, right away, I called Canadian North and I said, book me a plane for this guy. And I said, you have no choice. You're on the plane in 2 hours. You're coming to see me. Because I couldn't fly there, and there was only a flight coming to me. So I put him on the plane, and he's here. He's been here with me for a week now, and I was able to take him. And we were in the middle of nowhere in the land, and we had a sauna, a firewood sauna on skis, and we drilled holes into the lake, and we had a cabin there, and I had a therapist with us. And I was able to take him out of that state and actually make him realize his life is so beautiful, and doing all of what you guys are doing to me right now. And I know those are beautiful things, and I go out of my way to ensure that he's clean, he's good, he's ready to go, he's back in state, he loves his family and all that stuff. And earlier I was saying I have a problem being able to see the beauty in me, or I realize in that moment I know that I could be and I am who I am, but it's like every day I'm not feeling like that every day because I don't practice what I preach. I skip priming. I skip my affirmations. I don't even actually do them very often, but I skip that. I have a hard time appreciating myself for sure. I'm realizing that I did, and I'm starting to do better with it now. But
what can you commit in terms of having a change in that? Like, what can you start doing and committing, devoting right now in this moment to yourself and to us? Really, it's to yourself. We're just here to hold you accountable to keeping that space of, reverence for yourself, where you take 15 minutes, whether it's taking a moment of silence, whether it's being present, whether it's communicating, whether it's, sharing your incantations, and really holding yourself to that level of outstanding standard that you already can do. And it's that 15 minutes. What Tony says, if you don't have 15 minutes, you don't have a life, and so this is the time where you get to step up. This is the time where you get to decide and commit and resolve that these actions are going to be what you choose to fully step into every single moment of every single day. And when those difficult times of adversity show up, because they will, instead of taking 6 days or 6 hours or even 60 minutes, you'll say in a moment, wow, I can actually change my behavior in this moment and decide and commit and resolve that I'm going to take the action of change and step into my higher power and step into my highest level of identity and operate from the outstanding level of standards, so that from that place I can commit to the people that are around me and serve my beloved wife. I can serve my beautiful children. I can serve my employees, and I can be in such a place of deep service.
All right, I gotta shut this off. All right, I need to shut this off. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I didn't turn this phone off. Sorry, Eric. I'm gonna turn this phone off now. Hello, Gabe speaking. Can I call you back? Who's speaking? Actually, but okay. Was that today at 1 o'clock? Okay. Let me call you back, Bob. Okay. Bye. I won an award for doing business. I'm going on an interview for a business success story. And we won Business of the Year this year too. So for one of
Congratulations.
my businesses. So that was a phone call for that. But see,
Yeah.
I'm so lost. Like I can see that I need to do that meeting, but I'm into this meeting, and I actually want this meeting right now. But I do have to take that interview later. So sorry, can you continue, Eric? I really cut you off there. I couldn't. The phone is really annoying.
So one of those opportunities is in the present moment. This was a test to allow you to actually see if you could be present, you see? And you chose to take yourself away from the presence of what was happening in front of you and navigate into something else. So this was actually an opportunity for you to actually let go of the phone call and listen to what was happening, and you chose the mind over the heart. Because this is my hallucination is that this is a pattern that happens in your life where something meaningful is actually happening and you get sidetracked by
All the
something that
time. All the time.
So this is what
Can
if I can jump in,
Yeah.
what I understood, your main value is family, but you choosing business, and the business is mine,
Oh,
let's say, and you just exactly played that again. Instead of you
Hmm.
choosing the heart, you chose business, and you said you're gonna business success story. So as soon as you said that, how about family success story
Hmm.
interview?
Can I offer an exercise?
yes. Go ahead.
So an exercise I would do, and I do this with my grandkids. I got a little hand mirror, and I offer that you give it to your 1-year-old son. Does he have a middle name? Actually, get two,
Yeah,
one
it's
for
stupid.
yourself as well.
It's stupid. It's stupid. Yeah,
Okay,
his middle
so
name is stupid. It's 10.
I'm going to use Aiden as an example. Aiden is my 7-year-old grandson, and I gave him a hand mirror, and I probably should have put one in front of myself too. So I offer that you get two, or stand in front of the bathroom mirror and give him a little mirror, and I say, Aiden, this is Joseph. Joseph, this is Aiden. This is your best friend. You are never alone, right? And then I say to him, happiness isn't anything anyone can give you or take away. And then the last exercise I would give you is before you go into your house, go to the closest tree and give them your business and go home as a father and a
I got
husband.
no trees here, love. I got no
Whatever.
trees here, love.
Okay, you pick it. You pick the
But yes, I understand that. I would just wanted
yeah.
to tell you that we have no trees
Yeah.
here. It's so weird.
I don't know where you are in the world. Where are you?
We're
Where
in
are
the
you in
Arctic
the world?
Circle, Nunavut, Canada. Nunavut, Canada.
Awesome. So
Gabe,
whatever,
it could be just to take off the jacket, leave the
take off
job
your jacket.
outside.
Yes. Yeah.
Put it in the car. Put it in the car. In your work car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leave it there.
that's
Put
it.
it in the dashboard. Put it in the
Make a
dashboard.
move.
Literally.
Make a move. Coming
Make
home.
your move
Yeah.
and put it
Okay,
in the
I'm
dashboard.
gonna do that. What I'm going to do. So, do you guys? So, can I leave it on the porch? I'm asking for
Oh,
permission. Do
Absolutely.
you guys
That's what I
leave it
was
on the
going to
porch?
say. Yes, leave it on
Okay.
the porch.
beautiful.
To whatever holds your house up, leave it.
And
Yeah.
guys, I just want to be clear here too. Like, I could be a better father and a better husband. It's not totally bad. Like everything we have is also great too. But the presence is definitely I got it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen today. It's gonna happen today at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna go home at 6 o'clock, not 8.
And
I'm
have
gonna
a
leave it in the
baby.
porch.
And be
And you know
hey,
what? I
Gabe,
might have a baby
be
tonight.
That's right.
yeah.
Let me share you something, Gabe. This morning, another baby saw the light of day of my best friend. So
Mm.
I'm now on a 40-hour shift. So I'm shutting down slowly. But
Mm.
there was another life in the world, and it is what my hallucination is now. You shut down your business and go home and be with your wife. That's what my hallucination is.
Mm.
And give her
Yeah.
the attention
I'm
she needs because she's going to do a job we never can as men. And acknowledge her and
yeah.
adore her for that. And leave your business hat, leave this hat on your business. Do the hat off when you go. This is your business hat, throw it off. And if you have any business with you, throw it on the porch. And then you put your father love into your heart, and then you step inside and be from
Mm.
that space all the fucking time. Excuse my language.
Yeah. It's so beautiful to have the support. I'm so humbled. Thank you guys so much. It's nice to have
We love you, brother.
Absolutely.
all I want is my wife and my kid to have a present father. I've always said to her, I don't want to be absent. And the other day I walked into the house and she cried and she said, I love our $1 million house and I love everything that we have. And I love being so secure and I love that we could buy anything we need when we want it. I love being financially abundant. I love everything. But where are you? She said, I don't have you. And that's hard because everything I'm doing is illusion to be for them. But that's why I went to business master and stuff, to be able to to, to manage that work-life balance and stuff. Business is so important to me, but I live such a harsh lifestyle that I don't want. I'm not doing drugs and I'm not being an alcoholic, but if I'm not there for my kid, it's the same shit my dad did to me when he was doing drugs and he was in the drug game, he was an alcoholic, he wasn't there. I give my wife and my kid a beautiful place that's theirs, but my son's one now, and all he says is my name. All he wants to do is hang out with me and be with me, and I'm not able to. I need to get serious about them
You already are.
and about my
That's it. You already
yeah,
are. This is
yeah,
again like just pay attention to what's already going on.
Gabe,
yeah.
what do you remember Tony referencing about business? Is it a spiritual game?
See, I've been so overloaded. I don't even know what to say. I've been so overloaded and so overwhelmed with everything, trying to just. It's coming at me at 5 million miles an hour, and I'm trying to soak it in, but there's so many different ways. There's so many different things. It's, I don't know, Eric.
Do you remember Tony saying that?
I know it's a game. Did you say
No.
spiritual game?
Yeah. Do you remember Tony saying business is a spiritual game?
I don't remember it off the top of my head. No, but he probably said that. Yes.
So business is a spiritual game. Let me remind you.
Okay.
And the sooner that you recognize that you get to actually utilize business as a way to amplify your heart's intelligence, the sooner that you can be present to your beloved family, your wife and your kids. So letting go of the need to be seen, heard, and understood will allow you to be seen, heard, to see, hear, and understand your beloved wife. So you were already leading in business. You were already helping others in business. You don't need to prove anything inside of business. What I'm recognizing or what I'm observing that my hallucination is that you want to be more vital, have more energy, and create more presence for the people that are meaningful to you, especially yourself, because it sounds like you want to take care of your health. It sounds like you want to have more energy. It sounds like you want to be there for your wife, and it sounds like she wants you to be there too. So I believe that the sooner that you let go of the need for driving a lot of the energy within your businesses and allowing to let go and having people around you that can lead on your behalf, the sooner you'll turn into that owner, and then you'll be able to utilize the time and the presence and the energy to focus on the family so that you can watch your son grow up, so that you can observe, the presence of your beloved wife, and so that you can start really feeling fulfilled, because what you're doing right now is you're hitting the ball right out of the park when it comes to the science of achievement. What's struggling here is the art of fulfillment. You're not feeling fulfilled, you're not feeling passionate about the things that matter most. And so as a result, your time to change that standard is now. But you
Right
have
now.
to take, so yeah, so when you go home, you take the hat off, you take the jacket off, you step into the identity of a loving husband, and you start to merge that entrepreneur and that lover, those two archetypes together, so that as a result, she sees that business is just part of you creating the safety and support and security around, so that actually you can do less in the business and have the support of leading that, but really your focus, your primary focus, is to lead the family. And the more, by the way, that you do that, the more that your team, your business owners, your operators, the people that you do business with see how much of a devoted father and husband you are, the more business will start coming your way. Because that is a
So
primary
true.
value, community standard.
I have a little dilemma there, Eric. I have a debate. Like I want to, well, a debate dilemma, whatever. How do I do that without having to have my employees feel like I feel? Because if I devote and delegate and make sure that they're handling stuff, how do I keep them from burning out and not taking care of themselves and stuff? Because and that's the problem. I need to let go of a few businesses, I think, or a few more responsibilities. So I'm doing that as we speak. But so in the food industry, things close late at night, so I'm still getting calls. And so I just delegate. I have a delegating issue within the business. And I had the meet. Yeah.
May I respond to
Sorry.
that, Gabe? How
Yeah.
is the least relevant question? Who is the relevant question? Not how. Everybody does it on his own way and makes their own mistakes in what they do. So you don't need to ask how, you need to ask who.
Mm.
And then trust.
Mm. Tony
My
runs 114.
My hallucination is that you're such a great leader that you even help them doing the how. You help them with the how, but now you need to let go of that. You need to trust. And before that, you need to trust yourself and you need to love yourself.
I mean, this takes time, right? It's not just gonna happen tomorrow.
Okay.
Like I feel like I'm
So,
impatient.
done.
It's just like
Done. It's already done. It's
yeah.
already done. Trusting yourself. Trust the universe.
Thank you guys.
No excuses there, babe.
No, no.
You have it
And
already
maybe
inside of you.
maybe take that in, Gabe. Take a deep inhale and exhale, then to relax your shoulders. Maybe we can do it all together. All I need is within me now.
Yes.
Worthy opponent.
What? Give it to a guy downstairs, please.
Mm.
Who let you upstairs? Sorry, man. Who let you upstairs?
Then there's now I am the voice.
Oh, see, he went
Hey, Gabe.
past. Sorry.
You see that moment right there? That moment is where you could actually own it. So when when you're in that internal process, and you're taking in the breath, if I may I invite you to uncross your arms.
Okay.
So when you're taking in the process, when you're taking in the breath, and somebody has something outside of you that they need from you, it's okay if they wait and that you until you are done. So
I've
that is
never been able to do that.
hear me
That's
out.
beautiful that you say that.
Abe, hear me out, please. That is the power of your internal presence and knowing.
Ooh, I love how he jumped. Yes.
Is that as a result of you needing to take that time of your internal moment and that expression of what's going on inside you, the universe tests you now in a second to see if you're willing to step up. And it just did that again. It's done it multiple times on this call. And so that's
Oh
how
my
fast
God.
That's how fast the universe manifests itself. So this is where you're talking about time. Time is also an illusion based off of what your mind is constructing. You get to
Exactly.
step your presence in that moment of breath, and now it's up to you to decide, is that person going to break my resonance right now? Or am I going to lead from my inner knowing and they have to wait for me?
I see. Um, I also I see that, but I'm also here to serve and be a servant to my people of my in my business. So,
You have to
but
serve
yes, I
yourself.
get it. I have. Sorry, go ahead, Eric. Say that again.
You must serve yourself first because that's the dilemma that you're having. Is you're
Yes,
always serving other
yes.
people, and right now you have to put the oxygen mask on, like Ronald is beautifully sharing, for yourself.
And now I'm going away because I'm overdue for my family time. Bye bye.
See you, brother.
Ciao,
Love you.
Ronald.
Bye.
Much love.
Wow. I'm gonna. These happen every day.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't wait to learn. I'm so ready to be.
Oh, hat off. I love it. Here we are. Hey, brother.
Hey. I wish I could hug you guys. So beautiful. Um, I'll be there in Edmonton, Eric, and I do want to take that call. I do have to commit to a few major things here, but I've decided that I'm going to do 5 things. And once those 5 things are quickly done, I'm going to go see my wife, and I'm leaving everything here, my phone, my keys, everything, and I'm going to just go spend present time with my wife.
You're a beautiful
And I'm
brother, man.
emotional about it again. It's
Love you
going
so
to
much.
be.
Your love language, brother. Your soul speaking.
Gabe, it's so good to see you, man. Go what you have to
Yeah.
do. I look forward to connecting with you more. Let us know how everything goes with the beloved. And on the 14th on January, we're starting a day sooner to really create the intentions on January 14th, and then extending it 2 days longer so that we can integrate meaningfully business mastery alongside each other. So it'll be 8 days altogether in an amazing family dynamic in a beautiful home here in Edmonton, and there'll be people coming left, right, and center. So from all over the planet, and
How
we're gonna continue to build and grow.
is there any plus one, or like, can I bring someone close to me, or is this just myself?
However you feel, of course you can. Let us know if it's somebody like that is either going to share a room with you or if they're going to need their own bedroom. Just so that we can create the logistics of how many people are going to be kind of working together. If anything, we'll have to get maybe a second house close by. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We could figure it out all anyway. It's beautiful.
100%.
Hey, thanks so much, guys. I was actually thinking I was going to this call because I have a problem with fast reading everything and trying to just get into something and not really paying attention to the detail. You added me to the group and then I saw a chat come in. I clicked and I was like, okay, I just want to listen to Eric and all the people he's within. And I didn't mean to turn it into a crying show for me. And you guys, you really helped me today. And I have no words to describe what I'm feeling. And I thank you. You know, I didn't know this was going to happen. I was just trying to go in to listen, and wow, it was turned.
Maybe
I
you
felt the
maybe you
eyes
made
were
a
turned
wish
to me.
earlier today. Maybe you wished for something earlier today.
You know, what happened was what's happening to me is what I did to my employees today from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And I took all my top guys and we had issues and we addressed them. And I was, in my way, being a beautiful leader to them. And instantly, like the last guy wasn't even out the room yet. And I clicked, and I opened it and you guys were right there. And
Divine
oh,
guidance.
Absolutely.
I'm so ready to get a hold of myself. It's all about getting a hold of myself and finding who I really am. And thanks.
We
You
have
got
to,
this.
I have good.
You got
yeah.
this.
I have a good foundation. Thank you so much, guys. My life's been so broken, and I'm so happy. There's a vision board to fix it. We could do it. There's a road. There's a map, and I'm gonna be okay.
You are okay.
Mm-hmm.
We love you, Gabe. Have a beautiful rest of your day, bro. With that, I have to run as well. And it's amazing to see you, Sigitas. Amazing to see you, Amy. Thank you so much for your presence, your wisdom, your guidance.
It was so divinely guided because it really is. We have to be our own proximity. So the fact that we're all doing what we're doing, we realize that, and that's how we help the next person, right? Give
Do
them
you
that
see the
gift.
do you see the parallels that with the shack, Eric? What I meant that this is the shack. What's going on? Even what happened in the house in Alberta. That's the shack.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful. Love you both. Looking forward to see you soon.
Likewise.
Ciao.
See you soon.
Much love.
Bye.